just basically here, unscheduled. I wanted to do a follow-up on the live stream I did earlier today. I know there was a lot that I missed in the chat. Hey Guadalupe, welcome. I know there's a lot that I missed in the chat. There was just so much going on. So I wanted to do a short follow-up tonight on it. See what everyone else was getting. Hey old hippie, welcome. Bang. Hey Diana, welcome. Smells like something dead out here. I noticed that yesterday. Hey Leah, welcome. Thank you. And Leah, that song Wonderwall, I thought you did real good. I've had that stupid song in my head all frickin' day. You're welcome. Yeah, I've had that going off in my head all day. I really like that song. So if anybody hasn't seen it after the stream, go check out Leah's page, and that's gonna be a more recent video that she did through Smule. But yeah, check it out. Hey Bridget, welcome. You can make this one. I just wanted to, hey, Meditation Man, welcome. I just wanted to do a follow-up on that. Haunted town, or the Frontier town. We're all pretty old. Yeah, the all-natural vape wicks. Besides the e-cigarettes, I'm not sure. There's what I would recommend is there's some of these cheap, like little one-stop corner gas stations. I wouldn't get those myself. Bridget, the song is Wonderwall that she did, but those are really not good. The nicotine level is elevated. Your ultra lights are usually a 6 milligram, lights 12 milligram, and the full flavors are 18 milligrams. And a lot of those e-cigs that they sell there, even with a replaceable cartridge, those are 48 nicotine, milligrams of nicotine. So basically, for every one puff you take off of that would have been 3 puffs off of a full flavor cigarette. So they're trying to get you addicted. The stuff I use is I started with the 12 and just took it down, and right now I'm down to a 2 nicotine. Hey Black Eyed Shorty, welcome. Yeah, I'm down to a 2 nicotine, so I'd avoid those. Just get a quality juice. And as far as wick, I check in to see what define all natural. The stuff I use is usually got like a Japanese cotton, and I'll just say it's like, since I quit smoking and started vaping, that was almost 4 years ago. Probably another week it'll be 4 years. But I could breathe easier. Because when I was smoking, I couldn't even walk 100 yards, and I'd be huffing and puffing and have to catch my breath. But I vaped and got the nicotine level down. I mean, it's down to a 2, so it's like barely anything there, but I started to gain weight a lot more. So, hey Francis, welcome. Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't go cold turkey, but it was close. I went from full flavor to a 12 nicotine, and at that time, it's not like the vapes that are out today. Like I said, this is 4 years ago. Um, so it's like you could sit there and pull until your face caved in just to barely get um, something that was satisfying. But went up there this morning expecting to be able to get in, and we got there about 10. And I filmed, I recorded a few EVP sessions on my camera, and just buried a little bit of footage so I can make one video out of that, because it was EVPs were kind of close, the buildings were close, so I'm going to be doing that. But we kept waiting, and the lady had a friend come over, and she had to visit. And as soon as the friend left, a long distance phone call came in, and as soon as that was done, she was coming around, and then some people from the board that oversee that area came in, so she had to let them into an area, and it got hard to get into. And basically what she did is, and there's cotton wick and all of, yeah, well, you can buy wick, but I would just recommend that you find out what kind of wick it is. I wouldn't do a synthetic wick. But from what I heard, the best is there's a Japanese cotton that gives good flavor. But that's if you drip. If you use a tank, it's going to be something else. Hey, down the rabbit hole, welcome. Anyway, so what it came down to is, and even after they left, she was talking to Ray the Fam. So I'm just watching, because I know we had until 2 o'clock, and then we had to leave because it was a good hour. I think it was actually an hour and 10 minutes to get back down to Fresno from there. And Ray had to go to work, so we went up there knowing it was 2 o'clock. So finally it was like almost 1 o'clock, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go live. Screw trying to get the other video. I'll just go live. So that's what I did. And it was kind of a last minute thing that, well, we can't do it inside. We can only do it outside. Okay, that's fine. I'll just sit there and start walking around. But there was a lot of people coming in too. Hey, Shot Girl, welcome. There was a lot of people come in while we were there waiting. And actually, when I started my first EVP session. There was another couple that was close to the gift shop, and that's where I did my first one. It was right there on the porch of the gift shop, and they were like right there. And as soon as I turned on my spirit box, the static, it was real loud. And I went into the sweep, and I started to record, and I looked up, and they were like walking as fast as they could away from that place. But there was a lot of people, and there was quite a few spirits around, semi-active. I could feel them around. But as time went on, and more people were coming in and out, and it was like they were trying to hide. They started hiding. So it's like, okay, there's supposed to be some in here, and I'd go over there, and it's like, I really don't feel anything in here. And I just get like a random EVP, which was kind of odd. Because as soon as I turned the box on the first time, it was like, hello, hello. And like I say, as the day went by, more people. So I don't know if that was a cause or something else was a cause. But I noticed after I ended, I had a few notes saying that people were feeling a spirit close to me. Well, there was a few times, so I'm not sure exactly when, but they really didn't get that close. And some were, like I said, some were trying to hide. So I could feel that there was something there, but I really couldn't get anything more than like an invisibility cloak. Okay, Renee, that's Space Elon Musk. Is that SpaceX? The company, the SpaceX company? Well, I live just south of you, Renee, so I didn't notice it, but I was up in the mountains with a whole bunch of trees and couldn't see much of the sky. Well, thank you. Thank you, Meditation Man. Hey, Big Mama's Paranormal, welcome. Oh, on Bigfoot Channel. Oh, I'd like to get you in, have you come in on a wild card night. I'm still going to have it Friday this week. I don't know if I'm going to be changing the time because it seems like everything's falling Friday, Saturday, Sunday for me. Francis, welcome. And okay. But did anybody notice anything in there? I know that I was trying to watch where the people were, stay away from them. Trying to focus on the spirit box. The curator was out there, and she was talking to Ray. They were talking back and forth. So there was a lot going on, and I don't know if I missed anything. Might have been something seen in the video. Okay, Big Mama, this really isn't a sub for sub. I mean, you can put out what you do, which is paranormal and that. If anybody's interested, they'll go and they'll hug you. But I just want it to get out of hand, because I know some of them are like the sub for sub, and that's really doesn't help a whole lot. Yeah, it makes your numbers look good, but when you've got, say, 250 subscribers and you put a video and it only gets like 9 views, it looks kind of funny. But if anybody wants to go through that, I just did an hour and 10 minutes. I should have started earlier. And I had my big speaker at first, but like I said, there was, and I did that, and then we went into the one schoolroom, and when we come out, there was like 3 adults and 2 kids, and they were setting up a picnic, and then there was more people pulling in and starting to walk around, and that wasn't expected because they're usually closed on the weekends this time of year. So me and Ray were just expecting it would be us 2 up there and maybe 1 random person or 2 random person, but I mean, people were coming up making a day out of it, so I had to take that off and disconnect the big speaker and try to use a small one, and it's just wasted. So I'm gonna order another one tonight, and it should be here Tuesday morning. I got oh, okay, no problem. No problem, Big Mama. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, so I had to go to the little speaker, but I'll order another one. I got Amazon Prime, so it's like free. Sometimes it's 1-day shipping, sometimes it's 2. It's free shipping, and they drop it off right on my doorstep. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Um, I was just wondering if anybody that watched that was there watching that, if they noticed anything when I was inside the jailhouse, if they heard anything um, from Mr. Pate. He's been known to hang out in that area, but when we went into the schoolhouse, before we even went in, I wasn't really expecting to see anything. I didn't feel like there was much there. I think Boomer got one of the spirits that is supposed to be in there, is usually in there, had moved to the second schoolhouse, which we didn't go into, and that's the one that has the windows all along that one side. Like I say, I haven't been in there, but it looks like doors are up against the wall, and then the door on the back has a window to the right that's got a piece of plywood over it. But the last window, I'm not sure what was in there. I held my phone up, tried to see what was in there, and Boomer Rock thought that might have been where the boy was. So that's possible, because he usually doesn't come out even when he's in that one room. From what I understand, the little girl tries to keeps telling him to come on out, you know, they're not going to hurt us, and he hides somewhere in there, and she's the one that'll tug on your shirt to let you know she's there. Okay, Bridget, that's fine. I hope it goes away. Whoop, shouldn't have done that. But if you can, if you want to go over that, see if there's anything, and let me know. I'm going to go over it, but like I said, it was pretty active, and there was more there. I know there was more there than what seemed to be there, but like I say, for some reason, um, they were like trying to stay back out of the way. They really didn't want to interact a whole lot. If there was something there preventing it, I don't know. If it was the people, that's what I'm guessing. And hey, Ghost Mafia, welcome. So if they were trying to hide, I really don't know. But there was more there than what was speaking. And it seemed at one time there was some in the schoolhouse, but when we went inside, just before we went inside, they weren't there anymore. So if they went into one of the cabins or into the yellow house, I didn't even go into the yellow house, so I'm not sure if that's where they were all congregating. But for some reason, they just didn't want to be all that active. That's why I'm wondering if there was something I got in the jail, because I kept trying to look around and up and down, and then I got to film inside that one. But Big Mama's Paranormal, I do that, and right now, California, that's all I can do. I don't make a lot, so my travel budget is very, very small. So it's all going to be local. This the haunted frontier town that I went to today, that was the farthest I've gone, and that took me an hour drive to get to Fresno, and then we got in Ray the Fam's truck, and it was a little over an hour up to the location. So it was basically 2 hours there, and then 2 hours back for me. There's a lot of other places that I'm going to meet up with Ray and we're going to go to. There's one house possibly haunted. There's another one. I don't know about this one. I'm going to have to be well rested and hunkered down, loaded with crystals and everything else you can think of. But the renters usually are gone within, after they move in, they're gone in 2 months or less. And the reason I heard for that is that they see a set of red glowing eyes inside the house, and they just get freaked out and they leave. So that one, I'm not, if we do, it's going to be just that one, and I'm going to have to be well rested before I do that, because I'm not going to go in feeling drained and try to investigate something like that. The team, T-Pit, that I just joined, that's the group. We collabed with another group and did the Santa Fe tracks last night, and we got some pretty good EVPs, pretty relevant, direct answers, and got a few names. Some I didn't know who the name was, and then later found out that yeah, they're out there. So I got to go through that. That's going to be mostly EVPs. I didn't get a whole lot because it was supposed to be a three-hour hunt, but after the first hour, it was getting really cold and not everybody was out there, so we were missing pieces of equipment. But at one point, somebody was recording me and the leader of the team I'm on, and after we did the session, he was like, there was a mist over your head. I'm not sure if it was his wife or the other lady. It was like, she was right next to me. I was like, yeah, there was a white mist over your head while you were doing that session. Hey, Long Island serial killer, welcome. So we're going to try to get into the team. T-Pet is going to try to get into other stuff. She's working on an investigation inside of a private home, so I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see, is that okay if I do the video? So I'm going to be doing a video. Is it okay to put it up onto YouTube? Hey, Ray the Fam. Yeah, just a little review to see if there's something that anybody saw that I might have missed, because there was a lot of, okay, we're going to do this, but now it's not happening. We're going to try this. We can't get inside and do the spirit box, but we can film, and talking back and forth, and all the people that was in and out of there. Oh my God. But hey, Gabriel, welcome. If anybody's new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification, and don't forget to like the video. But she was telling me that we're going to be doing private homes. I think she's got a little more time to check into some things, and I suggested there's a restaurant, it's called Bubba's Barbecue. It's closed down now, but it used to be the Red Rooster, and it's been a series of restaurants after that. The Red Rooster was there for a long time, and they had a restaurant downstairs and a bar and lounge upstairs. I don't know, it was a long time ago they closed, but there's been different places try to get there, and it was like one right after the other. They've been there for maybe 3 months, 6 months, and they fail. But there is supposed to be at least one spirit that hangs around in the lounge that I've heard of. So maybe this lady can get a hold of the owner, because the place is for sale. Get a hold of the owner, see if we can go in there. I think it'd be cool to go in there and investigate that. But it's all going to depend on, does the owner that's trying to sell, does he want word getting out? Is the place haunted? The locals know it's haunted. We've all heard the stories, but maybe someone from out of town hasn't. And does he want that to get out? That's the big thing that we ran into today. I mean, people all know it's haunted. There's other videos up. Word around town, and it was explained to me, there is, like I said, there is videos up the way it was explained to me today. Some of you may have heard it because she didn't know I was live. She thought I was doing a video and I could edit a lot of it out until after I ended, and I'm like, no, that was live, I can't edit that. But it was, we know that there's other videos out that's been out. There's been teams come through there in the past. One was, I think it was I can't remember the name of the show. It was TAPS. The TAPS team came through, and that's where she's wondering if one of the spirits followed them in and stayed behind. But anyway, they had been there. But like I said, what I explained is like, that was the past. That was a different board in charge. This is a new board in charge. They're not big paranormal fans. They want to keep that, like, sweep it under the carpet, hush hush, because some tours may not want to come through. Oh, okay, it wasn't that long ago. Oh, I was inside taking a nap. I had to take a nap, Ray. I didn't get home till 4:30. Yeah, I went back and I was going to get on to the 99 there on Tulare. Or no, not the 99. I was going to get on 41 South. They're on Tulare, and they have the on-ramp all blocked, so I couldn't get on there. So I had to sit there and drive around and drive all the way to the 99 and get on. And I'm not even sure what cross street that was. And I had to get on there. So it took me a good 20 minutes, maybe a little more than 20 minutes, driving around town to get to the 99. So yeah, when I got home, I was like, do I want a beer? I was like, no, not really. So I kind of just like sat down on the bed for a minute, and it was like, the next thing I know, it was like 2 hours later. Oh, Cardiac's here. Welcome, Cardiac. Oh, there you are. Oh, you're leaving. Oh, great. Okay. Sorry I missed you, Cardiac. Hey, Joseph, welcome. Sitting here for you, Travel Channel. Oh, I don't have pay TV. We don't have any. Well, the thing is, there's the cable company has no lines running to this building at all. That's part of why I haven't been. When I first moved in, I tried to get a internet. Well, not right away, but when I had Clearwire when I moved in, so all I had to do is plug it in, and I was online. But I tried to get them, and I messed around, and they come out and look, and it's like, well, we can't run a line this way because of a tree, and we can't, dig underground, and it was just back and forth for 3 months, and I finally said, you know what, if you're not out here within 3 days to hook it up, don't ever call me again. And they weren't, so it's like, okay, there's no lines running to the building or internet or cable TV, so. Tammy, welcome. Mars Torquay Drones, welcome. Raymond, welcome. Yeah, so like I said, I haven't been over a chance to go over it. If anybody else has noticed anything while I was there, like I said, I got some messages, but I don't have social media on this phone. This is just strictly for live stream. So my social media phone I left in the truck, and I seen a bunch of messages when I got back. Some people were sensing a spirit close to me. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly when that was, because I was on the way back when I was actually reading it. But that was in the gift shop. There was supposed to be more of a benevolent spirit that appeared after the TAPS team had gone through there. So they're not sure if they brought it or it was kind of like dormant and they brought it out, or they opened something up. But I only watched maybe the first and second season of TAPS. So I wasn't even sure. I'd ask Ray if they were still on, or if they were still making videos. Because apparently, one of the members I guess, lived in Nevada or moved to Nevada or something. Because originally they were on the East Coast. I mean, the Atlantic coast. That's what the part of the TAPS was for. Was Atlantic. But I know a couple of the guys. I was there was a Jason, and there was another guy that were kind of like the lead players there, and some member of the team supposedly murdered their wife in Vegas. So that was the first I heard of that. I'll have to check it out. Also, you're from the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast, Bridget. That's just that you're on the other side of the world, West Coast. But I mean, would it be willing to go? I mean, would it be worth going up there? If we do go up there again, I'm thinking it's going to have to be super, super early in the morning or late at night, when nobody's going to be stopping in to have a picnic. That really put a damper on things. Hey, Brandon, welcome. I put a damper on things today. And I was like, I walked out and seen that, and I'm like, well, shit. Let me go get the little speaker. And it started messing up. So I think, oh no, I'm not in Australia. I'm in California. I'm in the U.S., on the west coast of the U.S. Bridget's on the west coast of Australia. She's like, 14 hours ahead, so this is going to be roughly, probably 8. So Bridget's probably around lunchtime for her. I got a question, Bridget. Do very many people in Australia have the Vegemite sandwiches, or is that just something that they threw into a song for the hell of it? Yeah, I'm in California, Central. Well, kind of the lower end of Central. It's kind of close to the border of Southern and Central, so it's like right in there. 15 hours ahead of me. So she's probably finished lunch by now. I've never had it, Vegemite. Now, if there was something like prime ribamite, yeah, I'd be making sandwiches left and right. Well, Vegemite sandwiches are good. You got the flu. Man, the foods are getting nasty anymore. It's like, I mean, you have to wonder, it's like, they're getting so bad, it's like, is this really natural, or is this kind of from all the, what would you call it, the vaccinations that they do? Oh, it's like a vegan type thing? Okay. Yeah, the veggies I like is potatoes. Oh, it's good on crackers, Bridget? Is it all like a big vegan thing, or all plant-based? Okay, so I'm getting mixed reviews. Some like it, some don't. It's probably something I'm going to have to go online and order. So I don't know if they'd have like an Australian version and a US version, because it's like, that's what a lot of the Asian food is here. It's not really what they eat in Asia. It's kind of, oh, we'll take this and that, and then kind of throw it together and make the American version because that's what they like. I don't like. I like a fresh cut tomato, but ketchup, yeah, no. I just not gonna do it. I have my whole ketchup, and that's what cracks me up. I'll order a burger and I'll say, hold the ketchup, hold the mustard. That way, well, one, I don't want extra sauce running down the front of my shirt. And that's usually what happens when they put mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup. But it's like, hold the ketchup and then hold the mustard. And then they say, oh, would you like ketchup for your fries? Didn't I just say no ketchup on my burger? If I don't want ketchup on my burger, why would I want ketchup on my fries? It's just kind of, huh? Hey, Brian, welcome. Brian's Paranormal. I'm just kind of going over, basically, I started going over the haunted Frontier village that Ray the Fam and I went to this morning. And some of those old buildings they'd been moved there, but they're being preserved. And these things are like, just the whole building style, you can tell it's like, yeah, this is from a long, long time ago, because they don't even build like that anymore. Hey, Nathan likes drums. Welcome. But like I say, I know there was more spirits there than what was willing to talk. But they just seemed like they wanted to distance themselves. It's like, okay, when we first got there, it's like, okay, I can feel there's something in here. There's one or two in here, and then there's something here. And then as more people started coming through, it's like, wait a minute, where'd they go? They're not here. Um, my my guess is maybe the yellow house that was there, because I didn't go inside that one. I only went in one, two. There was only two that I went inside, but the lady, she would not open that shop, and she wasn't really keen. She didn't want me to take the spirit box even near that building, but I did anyway, and I didn't feel anything that was like there was anything really bad there. No evil. So I just went ahead and it's like I walked back there, and again, that little speaker, I had charged it for 3 hours, and I didn't even get 5 freaking minutes with it in. And I was like, wait a minute, this thing's getting quieter. And I looked, and it's like, it wasn't even blue. It's blue when you turn it on and it's working. It's red when you charge, and it was red for 3 hours, and then 5 minutes. No, so did something do that to try to prevent me from getting a really good session there? So I just ended up pulling it off and then holding the internal speaker close to the microphone, and I couldn't hear squats, and I was just hoping somebody could hear what was going on. Okay, bye Raymond. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you coming in. But I'm going to go ahead and order another speaker because I think it's something may have drained the battery to the point where it's not going to charge or hold a charge. And I've only had it for 3 months, 3.5, maybe 3 months, 3.5 months at the most. That's something when I started doing the cemetery videos, I started using, because I could pick it up good with the phone, but it wouldn't sit there, and somebody could be 30 feet away and they really couldn't hear it. So it was kind of low profile I could go through. But I'm thinking the first time I noticed it was here. So I think it's just the battery got sucked down too low where it's not holding as much of a charge. And then today, yeah, something could have pulled it out, because I started using it between the schoolhouse where Boomer felt that boy, that was the second schoolhouse, and the gift shop where the darker spirit is supposed to reside. Okay, thanks for coming in, Brian. That's Brian's Paranormal. And you be safe. So I don't know if anybody else here watched it. Is there something that they noticed that I didn't mention in the video? Something you'd like to share? I'll wait for you to hear this and the chat to catch up. I know there's a delay. Like I said, the lady thought I was doing a video, and so there's a few things that was said in there that she probably shouldn't have, or she doesn't want to get out. So I'm going to leave it up for probably another week, and then I'll move it over to private. So if you want to view that, you can. I know there's going to be a few things in the EVPs, but not a lot, like what I'm used to getting. I'll have to listen to it, and then I'll go over the two that I recorded on my camera for video. I'll be going over those. But it seemed like, I remember the first one, as soon as I turned it on, it was like there was a little girl that said hi. I mean, just boom, right off the bat. And that was right next to that schoolhouse. But there's some pretty interesting, she talked about a couple of the buildings, and there's kind of an interesting history. One of the first schoolhouse that we actually went inside of, she was saying that there was a fire, and it moved really, I mean, it was moving fast, and it had moved through the town. It only took like 5 or 6 minutes to get all the way through town, and all the buildings burned down except for that one schoolhouse. It was the only building that survived. Hey, Atlantis, welcome. Hey, Tammy, welcome back. So I know I just wanted to make sure if that was something I missed in there, or somebody heard an EVP, because I won't have time to actually listen to the entire thing with headphones and dissect it. But I just want to also give you a heads up on what's going to be coming up. It's going to be more structures, buildings, and depending on how much time in the future, it's always, oh, I've got the time, but I don't have the money. It's like I got the money, but I don't have the time. I'd like to get out a little further, but like I say, it was a whole day thing. I started getting my stuff packed up and threw some gas in the truck at probably around 7:30 this morning, and I got home at 4:30 this afternoon. And all I got is one short video and a 1-hour live stream. But that's part of my fault. I should have just go ahead and started the live stream at probably 11:30 instead of waiting around, because it was 11:30, or even started at 12. But I didn't get started until just before 1. I finally like, okay, I give up on this. I'm just gonna just do the live stream outside, because I don't have time to try to record inside. And I think I said welcome, Paul. Just want to make sure. Been a lot of people popping in and out here. But today was my first Hurricane Michael. Ozarko water. I never heard of that. Okay. Well, that's understandable, Leah. We start talking about paranormal, and she's like all excited, and she wants to hear. She wants to listen. Oh, and another video I like is that her first turbo. That's so awesome. She doesn't even know what to make of it, and she's just like, I love that video. I mean, 10 seconds, but oh man, it's great. Oh, and oh, hey, what's life? Welcome. Yeah, you made it in. I was like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. There's a name that I haven't seen in here before. Oh, it's delicious water. I'll have to look, because there's not a big choice of waters here. Usually you have to hit like one of the corner stores, and they got like all these different varieties, but it's like $3 for a bottle of water. It's like, dude, are you kidding? I mean, and it's like, I can get a gallon of gas for $3.50, or I can get a 32-ounce bottle of water for $3. And it's like, wait a minute, man, this shit's more expensive than gasoline. Yeah, I'm gonna say again, Lee and Ladybug, if you haven't checked out her Smule video, she does a Wonder Wall. Yeah, check it out. That song's been, I listened to it yesterday, and it's like last night and today, it's like I keep hearing that Wonderwall song in my head. So did you have any excitement this weekend, Whit? yeah, that's something else I heard talking about the East Coast. There's supposed to be, I know Arizona got hit by one, and there's supposed to be another one going in, and it's going to be pretty much the same, building up to a Category 4 or 5 just before landfall. But like the previous time, I think it's going to hit the cooler waters, and it's just going to drop to a tropical storm and moves in. When it moves in, it's supposed to go into Baja California and then come up into the U.S. and hit Arizona again. A vintage plane is like World War II, or are you talking like World War I biplane vintage? This weekend, see, I went last night. I went to the haunted Santa Fe tracks, and we got some pretty good EVPs, which actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting. It's like, okay, train tracks. Why are spirits hanging around a set of abandoned tracks that aren't even used anymore? And I was gonna take some nickels out, but it's like trying to throw everything, to make sure I had everything in my bag, everything charged up for last night, and then everything charged up for today, and I went off and left the nickels. But there was some rocks. They said some rocks on the track, and they never got disturbed, so. Yeah. Oh, this used to have the best water, and now, I'll tell you what. Some of the areas here, um, you drink the water from the tap. Um, Go to Hampered and drink some of the water. It's got a lot of sulfur in it, and that literally you can smell the sulfur in it. And I can't drink it. I'll take a drink. It's like, oh God, I just want to throw up. Um, there's some other areas here that you can open up the tap. You can pour yourself a big old glass, and you hold it up to the light, and it's got a reddish tint from different sulfates and stuff in the water, and it literally it's got a reddish tint. And if you let it sit, then you'll have a bunch of orange and reddish sediment on the bottom. And it's like, I'm not going to drink that. Biplanes. Oh, okay. C-130s. Oh, okay. Yeah, C-130s. They were the big boys of the day. I think the biplane would be the trip, though. No electronics. Everything is cable. So you got cable inside of wood and canvas, and that's holding you up in the air. I don't see how the damn engines don't just break the wood off and fall, because those are some of those have the big it's like a V12 Mercedes Benz or BMW engines or something, and it's like, damn, how's that big old engine held in place with some wood? Yeah, I got some EVPs out there at the tracks. Mom was the only one that had a spirit box, so everybody else was kind of just. Not sure what that was. Sounds squeaking. Sounds like it's coming from behind me and in front of me at the same time. Nobody riding their bike back here, so we're good. Yeah, I'm going to be working on that video. I'll start working on that tonight. It's going to mostly be EVPs because we started and then we walked a couple hundred yards, maybe 150 yards, and I did a second EVP session, and then went another 150 yards and then did another session. So it's probably going to be like maybe a 20-minute video, and it's mostly going to be just EVPs, just one right after the other. Drink the whole thing up. Wow, I don't want to get waterlogged. Yeah, well, there's a lot of places around here, and to go into like the public restroom and stuff, and they'll have sinks for washing your hands, and there'll be like signs before you walk in. This is not potable water. This is not potable water. And so the people there have no choice but to drink a lot of bottled water. Unfortunately, that's the way it is now. Well, it sounded like there was like a squeak coming, but I'm not sure what it was from. It sounded like maybe somebody might have been riding a crappy old bike, and it was just squeaking as it went down the road. Yeah, just make sure you get a, I don't have mine on because I'm not doing any spirit stuff out here right now. But make sure you get yourself some crystals and plenty of protection. I mean, if you want crystals and a cross, whatever. I mean, you can just mix and match whatever. Just throw it up there. You just got to have faith in it. And just be aware. Don't let anything attach. I mean, I had one try to follow me home from this cemetery, the Tulare Cemetery. That's the one where the semicircle of graves is. It was in the first video. One tried to hitch a ride home, but luckily I'd only got a block away, and I felt it in the truck with me, and I kept telling it to get out, get out, get out, and finally it got out. So get out, go back. You can't come home with me. No rides down the road. You gotta get back in that cemetery. And I had to raise my voice, but it got out. Yeah, I'll just have to, I do, but that may not always. I mean, that's going to be one thing, but you try to get layers. That's what I try to get, layers and layers. But I'm not exactly sure exactly what. Hey, Boomer Rock, welcome. Because I know John, he prays a lot, meditates a lot, and somehow, even though through all that, and I'm sure he's got other forms of protection besides prayer, but he had a nasty follow him home, and now there's a nasty in his house. So it's got to be more than just, okay, pray. You got to do more. I mean, apparently it's going to take a lot more than just that. And welcome, Boomer. Yeah, that boy which you picked up on earlier today, after I shut the stream down, um, I talked to the curator for a few minutes, and she's probably saying that he moved from that first schoolhouse to the second schoolhouse, because when we first got there, there was spirits there, but as the day went on and we got inside there, it's like, even before I went in, I really didn't think there was going to be anything in there anyway, because I wasn't feeling it. But those two, the first schoolhouse and the second schoolhouse, they're side by side, but they're joined, and there's a kitchen. And what they do is they rent one's a museum, and then the first one that we went into, they rent out as a hall for like wedding receptions and weddings and stuff. And there's a kitchen that's in between there, and that area um, connects the two of them together. But that little boy, he's shy. Um, the little girl tries to coax him out, but he doesn't come out. But there was a lot, like I was saying earlier, there was more there earlier in the day, but as the day went on, it was like, I know they were still there, but they were not really wanting to be sociable. Oh, he was mistreated? That's probably why he like hides and he's afraid to come out. That kind of surprised me, but I think they were moving from building to building, and they were hiding. Um, we got a little bit there at the end when I was doing it with the bigger box, but there just wasn't. For what I felt, there should have been more coming across the box than what there was. It wasn't a whole lot. I don't know, maybe it was just they didn't want to be active that day, or there was too many people running in and out of the place. Because I don't know, it's like you have a carload come in with a couple and they start walking around, and there'll be another car come in, and then the first car would leave, and then it's like the second would leave. It's like, okay, it's just us now, and then more cars would be coming in. And finally there was a family that was at least 2 kids, maybe a third kid, and there was 3 adults, and they were all sitting around one of the benches having a picnic. So you're addicted to the water? I drink I usually get this distilled water. I kind of like that. And then I'll go to Winco and get the Alhambra or the Winco brand. It's like 75 cents. Like 75 cents for the Winco and like 80 cents for the Alhambra distilled water for a gallon. So I'll just get that, a big old gallon of it. Oh, okay. A water mean like it filters it out for you? Or is it, when you say a water machine, is it one that filters it out, or is it one of those where like it pulls water from the humidity in the air, which would be, I guess, be another form of distilled water. No, well, that's what water usually kind of filters, cleans your body out, but distilled water is not going to have all the minerals and stuff in there that other bottled water does. But there's a little thing called multivitamins. Take one of those. It's got minerals, all kinds of good stuff in there for you. Yeah, I wish I could have stayed longer, but like I say, we kept waiting and waiting for them to open because I wanted to shoot video and then finish up with the live stream. But the only video I got was outside. I got to go inside with the live stream into a couple buildings, but we couldn't do any EVPs or anything in there. So it's like, it was 2 o'clock. Ray the fam had to be to work at 4, and it was 2 o'clock up there. And even though we left, I ended right about 2, and we left right away, or a couple minutes after that. It was still probably 3:10 or 3:15 when we pulled up in front of Ray's house. So he didn't have that much time to get his stuff together. He had 45 minutes to get everything together, eat, and then be at work clocking in. So that's why we had that 2 o'clock window. It's got to be done. We have to end and go. it was a longer trip for me because once we got to Ray's house, I got in my truck and I had to drive another hour and 15 minutes to get home, and that's on the freeway. Not too bad, not congested traffic. That's on a freeway with a speed limit of 70 miles an hour, and it still took me an hour and 15 minutes to get home. Well, a little bit longer because I had to drive through town because my on-ramp was sealed off. So that kind of made it a little bit longer, but it was still, I was kicking down the road at between 70 and 75 miles an hour. I still had cars passing me. The only thing I was passing was trucks. And all the cars just kept passing me. And I'm like, okay, well, this truck's 18 years old. I'm not going to take it over 75 miles an hour. Plus the gas that the V8 was sucking up at that speed. Okay, thanks for coming in, Francis. And I'll be over there after a bit. I just wanted to do a recap on that and see what anybody that had watched that live stream, if they were there or watched it afterwards, just get their opinions on it. See if there was anything else they found. Boomer, I'd like to go up there again, but it's going to have to be under different circumstances. It's going to be at a time where we're not going to have people driving in and out. Maybe earlier in the morning or later at night, and have my equipment all ready. I'm going to have to get a few more batteries for my light bar. I think it'd be awesome when I do it if I could have a night vision camera. That's what I really want to get, is a good quality night vision camera that has a good microphones so I can record the EVPs, good quality, at least 1080p video, and be able to afford 2 or 3 extra batteries for it. Yeah, that place is really cool. It's like as soon as you pull up, it's like wow. Some of those, and you can see I tried to show some of how they built some of those things, and the outer walls were still original. I don't know about the fireplaces, if they were rebuilt or if they were actually like taken down and rebuilt, or they just rebuilt with new material to kind of resemble. Are you getting ready? Oh, you're getting ready for dinner, aren't you, Bridget? Yeah, I try to get stuff, but affordable stuff. There was a few things that I had to forfeit off the camera, like I can't, my other camera, my Canon, I can't attach an external mic, but it has 2 really good internal mics on it that'll record in stereo, and I can get the EVPs, get that record where there's still a lot of quality in there to make out what's being said. But if there's wind, I gotta do this with it, put my hand, try to cup it over and speak and keep it over, and then just hold the spirit box speaker close to the microphones, so the white noise and the EVPs will. Oh, that, yeah. I still try to get hard evidence where I can go, yeah, I can feel this, and there's this here and this here, but I try to get where I can go, okay, and here's the evidence. Here it is. This is what I got. You judge. I wish I could. That'd be. maybe my abilities will expand a little bit, open up. I mean, it seems like it's opening up a little bit more since I started doing this. I was at the one the other day, and it's like I started feeling weird at that live stream and the Tulare the other day. I started feeling weird. It's like something's trying to attach to me. I know it. $10 an hour, 10 francs? How many? Oh, $10. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to. I think it's going to be neat once we start doing it. I got another friend. I'm waiting for her to have her baby before I do anything. She'd like to go out on some videos with me. But she's like very, very pregnant. Like, I think 36 weeks now. 37, maybe 37 weeks pregnant. So we got to wait for her to. Hey, Panic D, welcome. We got to wait for her to finish that. But the house they're in now, her friend lived in before her. She did, and her friend said there was like some activity there, strange occurrences, and there was a person that died in the house, and I've been invited to go in there, but after the baby's born, and hopefully I'll have maybe like one of those laser grid where I could put it up on the wall, have one of those. I'm in California, Boomer. I'm on the other side of the U.S. But the lady at the town said that some of the spirits go to Silver City for the winter. Okay, I'm not sure how, unless they've gotten first and last names at this location, and then got first and last names or the same voice pattern at the other location. Okay, we're back. I hate it when they put those stupid notifications right over the top, and I go to move it out of the way, and it takes me to that video. So I'm back now, and completely lost my train of thought. Okay, what I was saying is, how do they know that they go from? Oh no, I wish I stayed in Cali when I visited. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out here, Boomer. I mean, really, there's not a lot of us to go in and check in this area. Oh, we're in Cali. I live in Tulare County. It's if you're down south in the LA area, you go over the Grapevine. That's a little mountain, and then you go past Bakersfield. And I live probably about, I'm gonna say roughly 50 miles north of Bakersfield. It's a big agricultural area. That's why I'd like to get with you guys, but my travel is really limited. I can only do weekends, and I can only go so far. I just don't have the money to fill up the tank of this beast and drive all the way down south. Yeah, see, that's why you see me alone a lot of times. I try to get a local team together, but I mean, I was finding a lot of people interested in the paranormal. And it's like, oh yeah, we like watching it. We watch this on TV, and we watch that on TV, and yeah, it's far. It's from San Diego. It's probably maybe a 4 or 5 hour drive. one way. So that's why I say it's like, I mean, if I went down to San Diego, I'd have to like leave like hella early in the morning, and then another 4 or 5 hours back. Wouldn't leave a lot of time. So if I go even just for like a 2 or 3 hours, I spend more time driving than I would be able to film. Yeah, back to what I was saying about the team. I'm with a team now, but somebody else was organizing it off the Tulare Paranormal investigative team. But we're probably going to be doing, we did the tracks. She was telling me there's going to be some residential investigations where we go inside people's homes. So that's going to be kind of a case by thing. It's like, okay, do you want to talk to us? Is this okay? I mean, I'm going to have to record, but I mean, if the person's like, no, I don't want you anything that could identify me inside my home or me, I don't want it up on YouTube. I'm not going to be able to put it up unless they say, yeah, go ahead. Just don't show my face, then yeah, I can put it up. But I couldn't find anybody. I found a lot of people that like the paranormal. Got with Ray the Fam today, but a lot of people here in the town where I live, they're like, oh yeah, I like that kind of thing. I like that kind of thing. It's like, hey, would you like to go out and do, check out some investigation out here in this cemetery? And they're like, what? You mean around ghosts? I'm like, yeah, do a spirit box. And they're like, oh, no, hell no. No, man, I wouldn't be able to sleep for a week. So it was real hard. And I know exactly what you're going through. I'm not sure about the library. But I mean, we've been going through YouTube word of mouth, talking to people around here. YouTube, I've gotten a small group. There's probably like 35 or 36 people in a YouTube group. I tried to get started and enlist some people, but a lot of people, they don't want to go out and experience it. They just want to watch. They want to watch a video or they want to watch a TV show. And as far as like going out and actually hearing something, experiencing that, direct responses coming back to them over a spirit box, they just get freaked out and they don't want to. It's like, no, I can't do that. Oh yeah, I mean, they will come and listen, but like what I was saying is, listening to a presentation is one thing, and then them actually getting out there and experiencing it firsthand. Um, a lot of people don't want to do that. But I'm with a team now. There's a Visalia team, and then there's a Tulare team, and I'm on the Tulare team. Even though I live in Visalia, I'm on the Tulare team because they were the first ones to say, okay, you're in. Yeah, well, see, I've worked the graveyard shift at a lot of places. I've worked there by myself and been doing it for decades. So it's like when people say, oh, would you be willing to go into a place by yourself and investigate it? Sure, I've been doing it for 20 years. I haven't been recording it, haven't been actually investigating it, but I've been seeing it, been walking around, around them. I can hear them. I can hear footsteps behind me. I can see black masses shooting in between this and full-blown shadow people, and somebody semi-transparent there 1 minute and then fading out. So it's like, I've been doing it for a long, long time. Actually, getting it on camera would be no problem. So, yeah, it freaks them out. They just literally freak out because I mean, some of them at one location had a friend. That's how we started getting people to come to our ghost hunts. Oh, okay. We have to, yeah. That's something where we don't live in a more agricultural, so the population is high, but it's spread way out. And then some people don't even want, they won't even let me go and investigate their property. Just I don't know why. Maybe that they feel they can. I mean, not knowing they can be like, oh, okay, well, this was our imagination. That was our imagination. Um, but if I actually start recording some of the stuff that they've witnessed, then it's hard to deny it, and they have to okay, there is something here, and they don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't even remember how I found out about this team. I think it was a historical, because there's some historical museums, and one of the ladies who has a project to help finance and fund some of that, she also has the Visalia group, and then at one time they were combined with the Tulare group, kind of as one, and that's when I started talking to them, and then they split off back to two different teams, and the leader of the Tulare team was the first one to get with me and talk to me about it, filled out their little questionnaire, and I was supposed to do an interview with her, but we never got that. There was always something prevented that, but finally she's like, okay, I got a lot of people, do you want in on the team? It's like, yeah, I got the t-shirt, and she's like, okay, well, we're just gonna kind of not worry about the interview right now. Let's have you come, and I sent her a link to one of my videos. When I seen her last night, she was like, oh my God, you were getting so many relevant answers. Like, yeah, that's normally what happens. But it was kind of an experience for me because that was the first time I actually worked with other people. I'd always been go out and film it on my own. And they also, from what I understand, it's like you're more apt to hear or get some type of activity if you're by yourself than if you're in a group. So I think that was I got quite a bit last night, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but yet not at the same time not, because of the location. It's a set of abandoned railroad tracks. It's not used anymore. And I'm like, and this is what I'm thinking in my mind, is like, why are spirits hanging out, on an abandoned railroad track? You got a field on one side, you got a field on the other. But there was quite a few. Yeah. Yeah, they do. That's why I think they separated, the Visalia and Tulare team separated. But they'll collab together, but they won't be the same team. Excuse me. They won't be the same team. But anyway, I mean, even if the team I'm on, even if they break up, well, I'm still going out doing all my stuff on my own, or collabing with Ray, and I'll do, with them, and we can do some, like some private homes are coming up, some investigations, and I brought up the fact of Bubba's Barbecue that's closed down being haunted, other locations, the tunnels and the Chinese tunnels here in town that, from what I understand, used to be at a certain time. Um, if you were Asian, you couldn't be out on the street at a certain time or after dark. So they had their tunnels that they could still do their thing and have their little opium dens underground and not get caught. Yeah, I think weather's changing too fast, Boomer. It's like really fast. It was starting to get cool in the afternoon, and then the next week it was like hot, and then this week again it's starting to get cool because it's well, it's probably what, about 9 o'clock now, a little after 9 o'clock, and this shirt's, it's a heavier shirt. It's not a cheap shirt. It's a heavier shirt. I've had it for a few years, but it's like, damn, I want to put a hoodie on, and it's just barely after 9 o'clock. A month ago, it was still been probably 80 degrees out here, 85 at this time. Now it's like tipping right around 60. Okay, you have a good one, Boomer. Take it easy. And I think I'm going to go ahead and probably close this down. Thanks, Panic D, for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm expecting that to happen again. It'll probably happen again, and the team will break up, and then we'll get back together, and then break up. And like I say, I've got my platform here. I got where already set up where I'm used to going out on my own. So I mean, if it splits up, that may just be 5 or 6 less videos a year. But I want to thank everybody for coming in this evening. I didn't plan on going this long. I was thinking maybe 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, I mean, everybody coming in is great. I appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. And wherever you're at, you have a good day, good evening, good night. Sleep well. And until next time, y'all stay safe.